Welcome, friends of the show. We are back with another episode of the Ferris Wheel Serious Rock Talk podcast.
Ooh, all right.
A big thanks for your emails, suggestions, and your support on our social media platforms. Continue to email us at seriousrocktalk@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Listen to a new show every week. Just tune in each Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. New York City time on Cap City Beats, located at www.capcitybeats.ca. Okay, buckle up for some serious rock talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Serious Rock Talk podcast. I'm your host, Ferris Kennedy. And the man to the left of me needs no introduction. You know him
Rick
from
Ocasek.
major songwriting. He is actually a former writer for the National Lampoons.
PJ O'Rourke. Ian Clark.
There you go. And the man to the right of me did write articles for Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition only.
Steven Tyler. No, Steven Wheeler.
Steven Tyler probably would have written that. So today we have an interesting show. We're going to start off with a couple of just trivia Canadian multiple choice questions on music. 10 in total.
Okay.
And then, who's in the house? Ian, you want to elaborate on who in the house will be?
Well, we discovered on this kind of social media platform called Facebook. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but we discovered somebody had generated what you might call 6 houses of rock and roll, and in each house is grouped 6 bands, and we're going to review for your titillation each group, and then we've decided to make our own 6 groups with 6 bands, and then finally torture each other with a really bad house.
All right. So we'll start off with these 10 multiple choice questions.
Okay.
Very simple. Gentlemen, if you know the answer once I'm done. Okay. Question 1.
Neil Young. Sorry.
What year did Tom Cochrane release his first solo LP? Was it A, 1973, B, 1979, C, 1986, or D, 1991?
73?
That's a little early. I can say 79.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the answer is 73.
Good for you.
Wow, we
know he's that old.
You know your Canadian history. Excellent. Gentlemen, what band was Bryan Adams a member of before recording his first solo LP?
Swollen members. Sorry.
That's a medical condition that you can get treated now.
Was it A, Max Webster, B, Sweeney Todd, C, Chilliwack, or D, the Headpins?
Chilliwack just sounds really Canadian.
No, wait a second though. What's the question? I mean, what did he belong to the group you said?
Yeah. What band was Bryan Adams a member of before recording his first solo LP? So where did he get his first start before he went solo?
Headpins.
I want to say Chilliwack, but I you've told me this, but I'm having a complete brain fog.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, it's Sweeney Todd.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
This is one that Ian's going to know right off the top of his head.
Neil Young.
What was Corey Hart's first chart and hit single? Was it A, Can't Help Falling in Love, B, Everything in My Heart, C, Sunglasses at Night, or D, It Ain't Enough?
I have a feeling it's a trap question.
It's a trap because it's either 1 or 3. I think it's, I know it's Sunglasses. I'm going to say Sunglasses is a huge hit.
Wheeler?
What was the first one again?
Can't Help Falling in Love.
Yeah.
I'd go with that one.
Yeah, you're wrong. Ian's right. Sunglasses at Night.
Really?
Yes, sir.
But he had a hit with that too.
Well, that's it. That's why I thought it couldn't be the
I know.
first
I
one.
had to double check and look at the answers just to be sure. But it was kind of tough. But, oh, well, carry on, my wayward son. Number 4. Which of the following bands had a hit single on the Top Gun original motion soundtrack? And I actually have the vinyl. I went and looked at it first. Street Heart, Men Without Testicles, or Hats, as he
that's scrotums.
C, Loverboy, or D, Honeymoon Suite. The Boys of Summer. I love when you say that, Ian.
Men Without Hats?
Oh, I don't know. So it'd be the Safety Dance was their big hit. I'm trying to remember that stupid movie. I know Berlin had that song. Take my breath away. Yeah, that was on it. I can't remember the rest of those songs on that. So long ago.
Well, after the show, I'll pull it out. I have it.
Okay. Yeah. Could you review them again quickly?
Sure.
Sorry.
Streetheart, Men Without Hats,
Right.
Lover Boy, or Honeymoon Suite.
I'm gonna go with Streetheart.
All right, and you're going with
Men.
Really?
Yeah.
Final answer? Okay, he's going with Men. The answer is actually Lover Boy.
Is it really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
man.
for them.
I had to go look at it because I pulled it out. And I'm
Good
like,
for them.
yeah.
Talk about a cash cow.
Now, here's one Ian's going to know. I didn't know. Wheels, you might know. Who was the lead singer of the Headpins? Was it A, Alana Miles, B, Darby Mills, C, Annie Holly Woods, or D, Lee Aaron?
Wow. I go with an A just because.
Because she's the hottest?
Yeah.
I don't know, Lee Aaron.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Lee Aaron was pretty hot, man.
True, yeah.
She still is, actually.
Yeah, strange as she is.
Yeah. She ain't that old.
I love the strangely she is.
Of course, I mean that transparently. Why wouldn't she be after a life of drug abuse? No, I'm making that. Jeez, these are tough.
And you know this one, Ian. I think you've spoken about this one.
Could you list the four again, please?
Alana Miles,
Yeah.
Darby Mills, Annie Holly in quotation Woods,
Yeah, I know she's being cute.
and then, and then Lee Aaron.
Shut up. Okay. I'm going to say, I wonder if it was Alana Miles. I can't think if she got her start. Let me go with Alana Miles.
All right, Wheeler.
Same.
Yeah, Darby Mills.
Okay, yeah, I was going to go there too, but I thought,
All
that's
right.
obscure, man.
Which band did Rod Stewart release a hit song with in 1991? Was it A, The Parachute Club, B, Glass Tiger, C, Honeymoon Suite, or D, Platinum Blonde, which is our version of Duran Duran?
Yeah.
Did Rod Stewart listen? Oh, come on.
Platinum Blonde just because.
Heard this. He did a duet or something? I can't.
So, which band did Rod Stewart release a hit song with in 1991?
I'd say Platinum Blonde just because it's a good cross-marketing ploy.
I can't imagine. Why? How would I miss that? How would it not be possible to miss that? What did he do in 91? Nothing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go Platinum. What the hell?
Glass Tiger.
Yeah.
Now does it ring a bell?
Oh, I know Glass Tiger. They had a huge hit.
Okay.
But
All right. Here's one that's interesting. Of the following, who is the youngest? Gordon Lightfoot, Joni Mitchell, Burton Cummings, or Neil Young?
shut up.
Burton Cummings?
I would say Burton Cummings.
I just like whenever you mention Neil Young, he's like, oh, shut up.
No, Burton Cummings is, I think, 96 or 7 now. But I'd say Burton Cummings was so young with the Guess Who.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Burton.
Yeah.
It wasn't Neil Young.
No, it wasn't.
Here's one, Ian.
Yeah.
Who of the following is the oldest? Mike Reno, Brian Adams, Alana Miles, or Tom Cochrane?
I'm saying Tom Cochrane.
Yeah, me too. Well, he looks the oldest.
He looks the old, yeah, really. I'm saying Tom Cochrane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I screwed this one up because I had Brian Adams. I think it was... yeah.
If we know
Sorry.
Cochrane made an album, what, 73?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Was he 9?
I think it's Tom Cochrane. Who's Mike Reno again?
He's Loverboy.
That's it.
The
Okay.
headband.
All right. And number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Which band was the headliner with AC/DC at their opening band as their opening band in 1979 tour? Was it A, Triumph, B, Max Webster, C, Rush, D, BTO?
I know it isn't Rush, because Rush opened Kiss at one point.
I don't think it'd be BTO. 79, eh? Ooh. Who's the first one?
Triumph, Max Webster, Rush, or BTO?
Triumph would be a good fit.
Yeah, me too. Triumph.
I'm going to go with Triumph, but that's just more natural than anyone.
It's Rush.
Really?
Yeah, I had to look it up.
That doesn't fit at
No.
all.
Well, then again, it didn't fit with
Froggy.
Kiss. So.
Yeah, really, good point.
Because I read somewhere apparently Gene Simmons decided he wanted to get Geddy Lee laid. And Geddy Lee and the gang just said, look, we just want to read in peace. Let us
Sounds
be.
like Getty.
Read in peace. I like that.
Those are good.
And the last one, which of the following songs is the most recent? Our Lady Peace, Clumsy. Alanis Morissette, Ironic. Tragically Hip, Ahead by a Century, and Bryan Adams, 18 Till I Die.
Oh, wow.
What was the first one?
Our Lady Peace, Clumsy.
Oh, this is tough.
I think I'll go with B.
B, you're going with Ironic?
Oh, no, sorry. No, I'm still going with A.
You're
Sorry.
going with Clumsy?
Yeah.
And you, Dr.
Oh, what was the last one?
18 Till I Die by Bryan Adams.
Okay, then. I'm gonna go with Alain Morissette. I'm not sure if I'm right on that one, but these are really a few of these are really close.
That's the thing. I had to double check because I thought 18 Till I Die. So to be honest, the correct answer is Ironic by Alanis.
Is it
really?
Yeah.
But it must be within a year or two.
Oh,
No,
it's like
exactly.
within months.
Okay.
It's like stupid.
Yeah,
It's-
that's because you said there's a little cluster of them.
And that's part of the Canadian multiple choice.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And now we're on to Who's in the House? C'est qui dans la maison? Bonjour, bonjour.
Get out of my house.
Get out of my house. So, you want me to start talking? Just what?
Yeah, again, just to refresh our listeners, this is off Facebook. Again, a medium you might have heard of, and they patched, some poor soul patched together 6 houses of pop music. 9 houses of pop music, 6 in each house. And I'm not sure what conditions he or her placed on them, but they do go together in musical genres, which I'll talk about. And the 3 members of our group went on to do our own. And in the special edition, we attack each other very mildly because we know what each other doesn't like. So we have a kind of like a house of hell.
Yeah.
With Vincent Price.
Ooh, Egghead. Yeah. All right, so the first house,
Yeah.
let's see if any one of us would live in this house.
Well, who would that be in there?
Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Soundgarden. Nirvana. Stone Temple Pilots. And the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm going to sign the lease on this one. I'm going to kick the Smashing Pumpkins out. And I'll move in. I'm good. I could go live in that house. Ian?
Only if they clean the toilet.
Okay.
Because I couldn't handle it. Obviously, this is the grunge house, which kind of makes it sound kind of
Grungy.
grungy. Yeah, like, come on, clean the
Very
damn...
dingy, yeah.
Clean the tub if you use the tub,
Yeah.
right? Whose spaghetti sauce is this? Clean it up. That you'd be reduced to that.
So I don't have an issue living in this house.
Okay.
No, me neither.
House number 2.
No, I would have huge issues with house number 2.
Very loud. Anthrax, Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, Testament, and Pantera. Can you say the police are coming to you? You know?
What is our electricity? Who has left the amplifiers on? I mean,
I don't think I could live in this house.
I couldn't. It'd be so much.
You can
spandex.
if you turn off your hearing aids. I think that's the only way.
Or else you can't. I guess you can't put spandex in the dryer, so you'd be
that's
okay. But imagine the
So there's a clothesline with a lot of
clothesline would be
spandex.
blowing spandex
A lot of
pants.
hairspray. You know, would you be able to get much sleep? Like, what if you work nights?
You couldn't sleep. You couldn't have a cigarette. Someone's hair would explode.
I was gonna say.
Right? What are you spraying that with? You know.
So we wouldn't live in this house.
We'd go on the weekends. I
It'd be
think.
fun to kind of party, but once they actually started to sing something.
Yeah, we leave at around 1 in the morning.
All right. House number 3, we got Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Pink Floyd, The Grateful Dead, Jimi Hendrix, and the Rolling Stones.
I'm buying this house and giving them the rent for free.
I'm moving in.
I would get them to sign a lot of stuff.
That's true,
Especially Hendrix and Jim Morrison. Just sign anything, because you never have to work for the rest of your
But
life.
think of it this way:
Sign my breast. Sign my breast.
if you're a single, if you're a single man, you can hang out with Jim Morrison. You'll be all right.
Big magnet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rolling Stones. Look at all this great music. Grateful Dead, I might say, listen, you're taking the basement apartment.
Or you just gotta go.
Yeah, or you're sleeping outside in the tent. Pink Floyd, kind of pretentious, and they fight each other.
Put them on the roof.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. I don't know. Could be loud. Rolling Stone. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun house.
Ian, actually, to be fair, you'd get along until Roger Waters opens up his mouth. Then you'd
No,
be
it
like,
starts
okay.
talking about Palestine or something. Yeah, that'd be it.
Okay.
Shut up.
The next house
Yeah.
is Bad Flower, Highly Suspect, The Glorious Sons. So I think they're from Kingston. They're Canadian. Royal Blood,
Yep.
Fever 333, and Greta Van Fleet. Listen, I just know The Glorious Sons and Greta Van Fleet. I'm not moving in there.
They have a few interesting. Bad Flower has an interesting, some interesting song. Highly Suspect does too. I looked at this house, you wouldn't be bored. Like, I might be bored with Anthrax after about 40 seconds. But, you know what I mean? Bad Flower. Listen, go to YouTube. These are interesting songs. Greta Van Fleet, interesting, but I wouldn't want to sleep over. You wouldn't want to wake up to this, some guy from Greta Van Fleet here on your pillow.
It's a Friday night party atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a party atmosphere. That's well put.
All right, so house 5, I actually would live in this house because I would get an education on culture that would be new to me. NWA, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, Ghetto Boys, The Dog Pound, and Compton's Most Wanted. I would learn things that I would never find in a book.
Plus, you'd probably find out how to go from like really hard situations to cajillionaire.
Yeah. Like those are
all these guys are extraordinarily smart,
and they're all good bands too.
Yeah,
like NWA is alumni, like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like they're there. I'm not sure if Public Enemy is there, but I think eventually on merit alone they will get there because they were kind of like the foundation of the '80s for hip hop. Wu-Tang, oh my God, how many artists that did solo careers out of that band alone?
I would party there if I could bring the members of Megadeth. Just to see how that worked out.
Dave Mustaine.
Wu-Tang, please meet Megadeth, and Anthrax. Please meet Compton's Most Wanted.
So you wouldn't live there, Ian?
I don't know. I'm not going to sleep over.
Okay.
I'll have some dinner. I'll bring some wine, but everyone just ease up.
All right. House 6, you got Green Day, Blink-182, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, The Used, and then the All-American Rejects.
This is an alt-rock classification, and these are all, I found, interesting bands again, right?
True.
You're not going to be bored at dinner.
But I have a feeling somebody's going to moon me before the end of dinner.
So that little goof from Green Day.
No, Blink-182.
Blink-182 is even
obscene.
worse.
Are they?
Yeah, they're a little bit more obscene.
Oh, I'm not interested.
I'd probably go, as long as the members of Jackass go in there too, I would go.
What about,
actually, yeah, that worked really
I'd bring the guys from Pantera if they wore their pants. Those pink things they used to. Yeah.
House 7.
Yeah.
Killswitch Engage, Trivium, Lamb of God, Parkway Drive, As I Lay Dying, and Bullet for My Valentine. Jesus, so morbid. I'm not going there.
This is what they call
the Halloween house.
I looked up. This is called metalcore, and I think I might just skip them because my hearing's already down.
I'd probably go just trick or treating with the kids.
Yeah, I might just stay home, catch an old Dick Van Dyke show. I don't know, but
or you show it with Megadeth just to piss them off.
Yeah.
You really want to bring Dave Mustaine everywhere, eh?
Lamb of God, Megadeth, Lamb of God.
And you'll do.
Yeah, exactly.
House 8. This is actually a house I think Brent Knox would move into because it's got Tool, 9 Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Marilyn Manson, and White Zombie. For those of you that don't know, Brent Knox, he's our Crosstown Traffic vinyl guru. So we go see him at Crosstown, and he's a huge Tool fan. So I think he'd go there.
If you throw out Marilyn Manson, I'm okay with this house.
Yeah, but Marilyn Manson, he's an interesting cat, man. He's
a smart guy.
He's a smart
It's all
guy.
a gimmick, you know that. Like,
Oh no, that's not it.
I know what you mean. Though he's a little dangerous. Like
it's just compared to the others, he's not that original.
He was with Rose McGowan for the longest time. She was like a icon back in the 90s.
Yeah, she made an interesting movie.
But you know what? No, it's just compared to the others. I just find that he's like it's not a third wheel. He's just like this. I don't know. He's the limping one of the bunch.
This is I looked this. They call mostly industrial rock. They call them. 9 Inch Nails, Rage Against Martin Sheen. These are good bands.
Oh yeah. Even Korn back in the day was really
back
good.
in the day. Yeah, I wouldn't move there though. I'm not going there.
No.
No, I'd probably spend a weekend,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't sleep over.
Okay. And then the House 9, they have, this is where Johnny the Cat would probably go.
Oh, yeah.
Primus, Ween, Green Jelly, Butthole Surfers, The Meat Puppets, and Mr. Bungle.
This is apparently called comedy rock, which is
sounds like a really bad grocery list.
Yeah, I mean,
something you get at a Piggly Wiggly.
Except you wouldn't want. Excuse me, can I have some green jelly on the Butthole Surfers? You'd be kicked out pretty fast. I think it'd be kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to be funny.
Like, I don't know what I would do there. I'd probably just go to the meat puppet and say, hey, how you doing, guys? Just sing some Backwater for me, and, you know, a couple of songs that Nirvana covered on their Unplugged, and I'll leave, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
I talk to the butthole servers and say, okay, the name. Tell me about the name. And then we could talk about that.
With their song Pepper. Their song Pepper's really good.
Let's talk about Pepper.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about Pepper. So that's what we
Interesting.
have there.
That is the Facebook rendition. Now, I think we did something on our own, didn't we?
We did. So what do you want to do? You want to torture each other first, and then end off with happiness, or how do you want to do that?
We'll end it with torture.
You want to end with torture?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Clark, do you want to go first, or should we have Wheeler go first?
Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever you'd like. I'll go first,
go ahead.
sure.
Age before beauty? Is that what they're rocking?
But what age and beauty, damn it.
All right.
Okay. I call this Clark's houses, of course. Now, again, I did 6 houses, unfortunately, not 9, but that's fine.
You didn't have to do 9. You did 6 different houses?
I just wanted to rock.
Oh!
And I didn't say we were more famous than Jesus or anything at the time.
Number 1, I put Beatles. This is obvious, I know. Beatles, Stones, Doors, Beach Boys, The Who, CCR. And I put this because you'd always be hearing great music. You'd be sitting down, The Who would be playing some of the Beatles come out. It would just be so enjoyable. And it's not obnoxious music like Anthrax. Turn the goddamn thing down a bit. It'd be just enjoyable, right? That's my first house.
Okay.
Second house, The Byrds, Velvet Underground, Simon and Garfunkel, The Zombies, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and Jefferson Airplane. Now, this is not hard rock. I call this more intellectual rock, softer rock, interesting rock, a lot of harmony in the rock. And they all go together. It'd be a mellow time. No one here's a real screamer, right? These are all pleasant bands, like I call them. Not MOR, just kind of more pleasant bands. Third house, the Chiffons, the Shirelles, the Supremes, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the Ronettes, and the Marvelettes.
That's an R&B house.
That's a fun house, man. Can you imagine all these attractive women? They're singing these great songs. They all have beautiful voices. Wonderful. You know, how can you go wrong? You can live in there. They'd kick you out after a few hours, of course. But while you were there, you're grooving. Fourth house, King Crimson, Pink Floyd, Yes, Emerson, Lake, and Young. No, and Palmer. And Genesis and Jethro Tull. These guys all go together. This house would be a little bit boring. You'd have to get into the more intellectual aspect of it, the experimental aspect of it. But that's what they'd be doing. They're all great musicians. Could be a little tedious and pretentious, but you're going to learn something about music. Number 5, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Mark Knopfler.
You going for guitar lessons there?
Yeah, I would just sit on the couch and say, and keep, as they say, keep the tape rolling. Remember as much as you can, and get them to sign everything, especially Hendrix. No, get them to just sit there and listen to these great guitar players. You're not going to be distracted, and they will tend to up each other like musicians do, right? So it's going to be amazing. My final house, I'd have Robert Plant, Chris Cornell, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, Steven Tyler, and Roger Daltrey, just to get into a shouting match, to see you could shout all these beautiful voices around you, singing songs. How can you go wrong? It'd be a great house to hang with. That's mine.
That's a good house.
Yeah.
All right, Wheeler.
Well, I'm a lazy guy. I only go to one house and I don't move.
That's what I did. Don't worry, I did the same thing.
Oh, God.
So mine would be Pink Floyd, Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, because you need to have some mellowing out.
Sure.
Black Sabbath to piss everybody else around, and some Nick Drake.
Oh, wow. To depress
just to depress everyone, so get everybody out at the end of the night.
That's good.
That's your house.
That's my house.
All right, I went a little bit off the spectrum, and obviously I did one house, but obviously once I read them out, you guys were like, yeah, we saw that coming. So obviously in my house, 6 people I would live with, or 6 bands. Obviously Bryan Adams and the Dudes of Leisure.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, I'd be living with them. Motley Crue would definitely have a place in my heart and in my house for sure.
What era?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? The fun era for sure.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters are there. I'm gonna bring in AC/DC because we've got a lot of rooms to fill. you know Van Halen was coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought in Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
Yeah, they are moving in.
Not like shocking surprises there. And of course, the Cars.
No. So I guess now we're going to the House of Hell or Obnoxious
This is
Home?
House of Hell.
Vincent Price.
So who wants to torture who first?
And you torture
You
me?
first?
Okay.
You want to be? Or you
All
torture
right.
him first?
I'll torture this fellow Wheeler first.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is a house I don't think you would find pleasant. I think you'd ring the doorbell, they'd open it, and you'd say, "Creeping, babbling Jesus," and you'd just split down the driveway. You wouldn't even go in. Because in this house are 6 well-known performers. The first one is Céline Dion.
Oh, God.
Second one is Patti Smith, if you know her.
Yeah. After Celine Dion, my ears are still bleeding, so...
Third is Ted Nugent.
Oh, Lord.
Fourth is Yoko Ono.
Oh,
Man, you're cruel.
I know, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
the House of Hell.
The House of Hell.
Number 5, Phil Spector. This is so you may not ever leave.
Yeah.
I'd be all right. I wouldn't mind talking to him about.
Oh,
Music.
only if he's not.
Well,
armed.
if he's behind a glass.
Yeah, glass.
He had like crazy hair, eh?
Amongst
did.
other
Yeah,
things, yeah.
did.
Yeah,
He's
he was
gone.
just
And 6, Sid Vicious.
Nice. Okay. Do I respond to him automatically, or
Or who you torturing?
both of you? But
Sure, you want to retaliate?
Yeah, so I'm
Retaliate,
retaliating. So we'll begin with Anthrax,
Oh, stop.
mixed with a little Kiss.
Oh, God.
Roger Waters coming back from a Middle East tour.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Then let's see who else. I wanted to put in some Rush, but they're most pretentious.
The Rush or maybe Scorpions.
And well, yeah, you guessed the last one, Scorpion.
Yeah, that's good.
That is funny, actually. I guess I'll turn on to him, and then you could rebuttal and torture me after.
Whatever you want.
So, Ian, I figured
Yes?
the best way to punish you is to put you in the same house with, first of all, Rush.
No, okay. Well, they're going to have to stay in their room.
All right. Second of all, I figured we throw Tom Petty and Heartbreakers in
No,
there.
please.
Okay.
If he doesn't play music, he just talks and eats his breakfast.
I decided to throw Cream in there because I know you and Clapton are going to have some issues.
We're going to have a few issues, but yeah.
I figured Neil Young and Crazy Horse just to piss you off.
I'll talk to Crazy Horse before I talk to Neil.
The Cars.
Oh, God, Rico Kasich. God bless him.
I had Kiss on the list, and I figured, because already Wheeler put it, but I'll keep him on there, and then I'll add a 7th just to torture even more, the Tragically Hip.
Oh, no. It's just, you're right. I wouldn't even go in the room. I see the invite list and say, I left the car running. I got to go fast.
So that's the house I would put you in.
Thank you very much. That's
So
comfortable.
me, I just wanted to torture you on a loop. The only people I'm inviting are Cream on a loop. Morning, day, and night.
That's it?
That's it.
One band?
Because you're too open-minded.
Is George Ginger Baker's there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, I can hang out with him.
You talk drums,
I could talk
Yeah.
drums with Ginger.
though he was a dreadful man.
That's
so.
it? That's the only band you put on there, Cream? Eventually you tend to like the people, right?
Yeah, really, it's only 3 guys.
It's only
It's
3
bad.
guys. You know, eventually one's going to grow on you.
Well, yeah. No, it's just with you. I've discovered over the years, like people that originally piss you off. Eventually, you'll be able to find something positive.
Yeah, I guess that's true because how often was I criticizing Rush, right? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, listen, yes, I do admit that they do have some good songs and, can't deny what they did because it's just there. But again, it's my personal opinion, and I just feel that, yes, we understand. They are Canadian. They created, they're good. But they're not, you can't put them on a pedestal because it just doesn't make sense.
I could have put the hips to have you to jump a gasket, but you like some of their songs.
I do.
See, that's the thing. I with you, there's always going to be a nice little opening where you'll be on good terms with these people eventually. But I know Cream, fundamentally, you can't stand them.
I'm not big on Cream, and I don't
Just in
know.
your coffee.
Yeah, not even in my coffee. Put
No,
milk.
that's true.
But the thing is that you remember the guy wrote on Facebook saying that Rush had more international stardom than the Beatles and the Stones.
Poor guy.
And he was arguing with me on this, and I told this to my drum teacher, and he's like, what drugs is this guy on?
My response is, it's so sad when cousins marry.
But he was saying that Rush is bigger than the Who, bigger than the Stones, bigger than Zeppelin, bigger than the Beatles. Really?
By what measure? I'm not sure.
Bigger than the Beatles? Really?
Oh, the poor guy.
But I wish he would have been in the room so Ian could have sat him down and said, all right.
Oh,
this is an
tough.
intervention.
Number one, professional therapy. Number two, by what criteria? Why? How would they? No, ladies and germs, I make fun of Pantera or I make fun of someone. Listen, all these bands obviously have something, because for every, I don't know, Motley Crue, there are about 50 million bands like them that didn't make it. So somehow they had something, right? They wouldn't be on our list. You wouldn't know them if, Pantera, if they got bit in the neck. That's the thing. They all must have something. They must be good at something, So we make fun of them, like Kiss. I think is I don't know what they are. I'm not really a rock band. I'm not sure.
You call them a business.
I think it's a business. I think it's a novelty act of something. But the fact is, millions of people like them, and they're zillionaires, and they do what they want. They don't work in factories, which was the alternative or something. The idea being, all these bands have something, even though we personally might think, oh, good Lord, here comes Anthrax. Right, so there's something going on.
Do you think, though, Ian, Kiss would have been as successful if they did not have the get up?
No, I remember when Kiss was the first about 74, and they appeared on chat shows like Merv Griffin and other, in full makeup, and it wasn't a rock act. We just looked at them. It was more of a clown act, and outraging grown-ups by breathing fire and spitting blood and stuff like that. And that was what Alice Cooper was doing, but he had a sense of humor about it. Gene was a heavy guy, and all those guys are heavy guys in Kiss. So no, it wasn't cool to like Kiss. It wasn't cool to like ABBA. It wasn't cool to like Aerosmith. Queen. These bands became cool. Even ABBA, good Lord, by the late 70s, early 80s, by some miracle from the House of Zeus. I don't know what happened.
The tight pants, I'm guessing.
I don't know what it was, but they suddenly, Kiss was like selling out. Stay with Kiss. I mean, the guys in the makeup, what?
Yeah, but Cooper only he just did eyeliner. That was it. David Bowie went out there with a star around his eye, and I don't know if he had the white makeup.
He had a whole thing. Cooper had like a whole stage act with a guillotine. He came out. There's a blood thing he used to walk around. Like, he was kind of a clever guy in his own way. But yeah, they were entertainers. But that's why I say we make fun of them, we cajole. But, in the end, they had something, or you would not know of Kiss today, right?
At the end, you're right. They're in the they're in the Hall of Fame. So
God help them.
20, whatever it was, the 20,000 people that would vote or whatever. Yeah. Someone felt that they deserved to be there, and you know what? Hey, it could have been a gimmick, like you said.
Yeah.
And it worked, right? It sold.
It worked. It sold, and so what? And there's a few good songs, but I could probably write drunk, Beth, everyone talks about, I want to rock and roll all night and pay taxes every day. Right? Whatever it is. But, that's the thing. I get it. But it's, or Tom Petty and the Harper. Listen. But he made it through as 10 million, whatever bands playing in Florida that didn't make it. So what made him special, right? As one of my friends once said, there are a million women that were more beautiful than Marilyn Monroe, that were better actresses, right? Why is she remembered? It's a mystery. It's a confluence of events and this and that. You don't know. You can't label it. And a lot of rock is like that too. These bands, these 3-chord bands like the Cars, you go, wow, how did that happen? It's a confluence of timing and everything else.
But it's different though in Canada, because I think certain Canadians get fixated on that one band, and it's like a domino effect.
Yeah, it's a small country.
So Wheels is a huge fan of Rush, but
I wouldn't say it.
No, I'm just saying as an example.
Yeah.
And he, Clark and I are like, okay, and he keeps talking about it. Then all of a sudden we're like, all right, yeah, I guess. And then you're listening to it. Then then I'm talking to my brother. Oh, check out this band Rush. It just goes and goes and goes.
It's a good thing. Yeah, and then they start listening to him. They go, yeah, the good musicians. Or they wouldn't be known as great musicians. Obviously, But then again, would I listen to it in the car, in the house, wherever? Personally, no.
Maybe just 3 songs I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer.
No.
But no. So that's the way I look at it. So I hope you enjoyed our Houses of Pain we did tonight. And,
I like that. Houses of Pain. Or what was it? No.
Houses of Rock.
Houses of Rock. What was the Vincent Price one you called it?
Yeah, Houses of Hell. Vincent Price. Not at all.
Yeah, he was good, man. He was distinct voice.
Yeah.
Exactly, Batman.
Famous in the 60s for his cookbooks, too.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no. But I remember seeing something. Apparently, he did an entire... Apparently, he did a cookbook on how to use your dishwasher's heat to heat fish.
It sounds
I know.
Like
It's
sounds like a
like-
waste of time.
is it?
It's the 60s, man.
Hey, man. I don't think he was busy at that period. He made a good version. Will Smith did the remake. The Omega.
Oh, yeah,
What was the
Legend.
one? Legend. And yeah, he did a good version of that.
Yeah.
And they remade it, Omega Man and all that stuff.
Really?
So that's the way it was. Anyway, let's do a wrap.
All right, I'm Kennedy signing off.
Dr. Ian Clark.
Stephen Wheeler.
Have a good night.
And a good morning. Bye-bye.